Hello. My name is Jasmine, I'm an illustrator, and welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be very different from my usual vlog content. If you're not into planners, go ahead and skip this week's video. The next one is definitely going to be a weekly vlog, so stay tuned for that. Now, if you are into planners, I'm going to go over my planner system currently and how I got here. The reason why I am making even a video covering my agenda is that I realized when I purchased my first Hobonichi for this year, I realized that there's a huge planner community online and I was slowly becoming part of it. Not just by joining Facebook groups, reading Reddit posts about Hobonichi, but also watching YouTube videos of people going over their planner systems. It's gotten to the point where I would love to share my own system and see if that is helpful for anyone else who is either starting or would like some inspiration, or like me, just loves to watch other people talk about their planners. It's definitely a new hobby of mine, and I never thought I had any time for new hobbies. There are timestamps below to go over all the different segments of what I'm going to review. Before we go into what I currently use, I wanted to review slightly how I even got here, you guys. How did I even get into Hobonichi and Sterling Ink and all these popular planners that are trending right now in the planner community? As far as planners go, I've always used planners in school, college, and in my office day jobs. Currently, I don't have a office day job. I do have a day job, but it's not revolving around admin stuff, so I don't really need a heavy-duty planner where I have a task list of over 100 items. I haven't needed that for like 3 years. All I've been using to really plan out my day and just the task stuff, I've been using Notion for that, and also just jotting down on paper. I don't know, it wasn't necessary. I felt like my day didn't have so many tasks that I needed to have a dedicated planner for it. But as of last year, I felt like I needed to take more control of my day and how to figure out what I needed to do, especially now that I'm working on a long-term comic project, which is Girl Night, and also a writing project. Like, I'm working on these long-term projects, and having a dedicated physical space such as a notebook really gave me the feeling of control and the feeling that I was going somewhere, because these are very long-term projects. So every day would pass and I wouldn't really feel like I accomplished much. So if I had a list, a physical list, where I could check off things, I could look back at them and see actual progress being made. I know, it's all mental. It is not anything like serious. It is purely mental work here, okay? And self-care. So last year, using a Ferris wheel press feather notebook, I think it's called, or feather notebook. As of last year, I started to do more bullet journaling, where you actually draw the setup of an agenda. It's a very creative process, feels very nice. Every week is a new thing to draw, and so I wanted to show you briefly what that looked like, because it's kind of cool to look back and see just how much fun I was having drawing out these weeks. Let's jump to the desk and really get into the nitty-gritty of these planners. So these are the 4 planners that I'm going to go over in this video very briefly. This is the OG one from last year. This is what got me to realize that what I really needed was these guys. As I mentioned earlier, this is from Ferris Wheel Press. It is dotted, and it does have the days of the week here, so you can turn it into a dated journal. What I started doing, this is all just scrap paper for notes. I didn't really know how to use it, but I did see that I wanted to make task lists with a calendar. Let me lower the camera here. What I was actually doing was separating the days on this side and then leaving this blank for habit tracking, journaling, task lists of like week-long stuff, things that I read that week. Basically, I was copying the format of a week's. I was doing this, but in a dotted journal. I didn't really realize that until later when I was like, why am I drawing this when I could literally just get this agenda? So yeah, that's what I did for several months. I started getting stickers and passing through the months. And it was really fun to decorate each week with some new theme here. And journaling on the side, which I don't really do very often, at least in the past. So I was enjoying doing some journaling, getting thoughts down, making a calendar. I stopped at the end of December. That was because I had bought a cousin, a Hobonichi Cousin, which is, this is what it looks like. Once I realized, hey, I like using a planner to go through tasks and for memory keeping, like a journal, that's when I discovered that these existed and they were super popular. So I started this in January as a full encompassing planner, journal, everything. Let me show you what that initially looked like. And I did decorate it with a lot of vintage looking stickers. I got those from Amazon. I'm still starting to do planner stuff, so I didn't want to like invest in too many things knowing that I might have dropped the hobby, but I had a lot of fun decorating it, so it's really nice and relaxing. This is the inside page. And then this was going to be my health tracker. This was for last year. I tracked the times I got sick and all the times I exercised. And then I was starting to do that here. Notice that I'm using starting because I do a big change at the end of January. So during January, it didn't look like this. I was tracking something else, but I'm getting ahead of myself. So this was supposed to be tracking my health. This was tracking my activities, like my hobby stuff, what days I was doing them, plus the days I was exercising. And then my calendar. So I only did January, and this is what my calendar looked like. For the weeklies, I really didn't know what to do with the weeklies for January. I've never done this setup. I've never done a vertical hourly thing, so I was just using inspiration from Pinterest and other YouTube videos of what do people do with their weekly section, because my issue is every day I do kind of the same thing, so it was just a matter of like, how do I make it look interesting for myself? For the daily section of the cousin, I did my focus for next year. These are my goals for this quarter, and then I was gonna put the rest. I'm still gonna be using this page actually because it's quite useful. For January, I did my dashboard as part of my art studies because for this year, I wanted to work on my art studies. Let me zoom in a little bit because it's a little far. So this was an art study from an Ivan Bilibin illustration, and because it's still inside of a planner slash journaling sort of vibe, I made it more for journaling purposes. I put the highlights, food that I ate or cooked, things that I read, and just random thoughts of what I learned, but this didn't end up being very helpful. And then I tried to journal every day, you guys. Again, not something I do ever very often, but it was fun at the beginning to think of ways to journal creatively, doodle, put stickers down, memory keep, try to put down things that happened that day that I will definitely know I'll forget, so might as well write it down. And it was really fun and creative. I wrote down things that I read, any anxieties that I was going through. So the month of January, I was preparing to send my comic pitch to agents. So a lot of these entries are just talking about my script revision, the pitch, my anxiety about it all, just feeling very anxious overall about the whole process. This is the day that I actually sent out all the pitches to agents. That's a big day. Hanging out with friends, I did write down some of these parties and get-togethers. And yeah, I stopped at January 28th. And why did I stop? Well, I realized doing this journaling stuff was taking too long, you guys. Just filling out the page, it would take me like maybe 30 minutes, at least 30 minutes to fill it up and make it look pretty, and it got to the point where I was feeling kind of bad that I was wasting too much time doing this. Like, I like it as a hobby, but not for that long of my day. It started to feel like a chore. So then that's when I realized, you know what, maybe I should just go back to this format, to this weekly format. So I stopped at the end of January. What I wanted to do initially, my planner system, was to use this as a functional planner and memory keep, and use this solely for my art to log my progress, because as I mentioned earlier, it didn't feel, last year and the years before, it didn't feel like I was progressing much every day, and I was kind of being hard on myself about how I was spending my day. So if I had a dedicated place where I could record every day my progress, then I would feel genuinely like I accomplished something every day. And so that's what I started. Let's see what week I started at. Yeah, the first week of January. So what I was doing was writing here a highlight of what I accomplished that day, and then journaling how my progress went. And then on this side, it was a task list and sometimes journaling. So I was doing that every week just to document what exactly did I do every day, so that I could go back and really be able to tell that I did do something, I did accomplish something, even though these projects are so large and long-term. On the inside, I was also tracking the days that I was completing a comic page, because I also wanted to know, okay, what's my comic page rate? Every time I finish drawing a comic, I want to know how long that takes. And from the brown dots, it looks like my pace is about, hi kitty, it looks like my pace is about 3 comic pages a week. If I can like really hustle, that's my rate. So seeing it in a bird's eye view like this was really helpful. If you know what your speed is, then you're not going to be making ridiculous goals of like, I'm going to draw 10 pages a week. It's like, no, that's highly unrealistic. If you record what you're actually doing, then you can make goals ahead of time that are way more realistic. I would not have known that if I hadn't made this type of breakdown. So using this, I was going to continue to record that and yeah, and see how that was gonna go. That was January. Did this work? No, because like I said, this was taking too long. I don't have the time to be doing an hour of journaling every day. That's not really what my intention was in getting into this planner stuff. Oh my god, Kat, really? You have to be on here? So instead, I got the Sterling Weeks planner. This is functioning as what this originally was doing. My weekly, right? And then my journaling in the back. So this is all my journals from February. And I do my highlights. It's great. It's working for me. I have a reading log. And then my monthly is this. It's really great. I'm obsessed with Sterling ink. I love that the pages are white. They're numbered. They don't have like these ugly colors that the Weeks has, so I do have a lot more wiggle room to be creative. I got their vellum here. I got a cover for it, and then I just put an insert of whatever I printed out. I'm definitely going to change it. I'm not too crazy about it, but I wanted something sturdier because I realized that what I like about the Hobonichi products is that the covers are stiff. So they contain all this flimsy paper inside, and it just feels so nice to hold. What I think I'll do is I'll add maybe a little bit of cardboard in here to give it more structure. So that's that. When I decided that I didn't want this, I wanted to keep this system. So I was like, okay, well, I have this to record my progress. Now I need like a normal planner. So what if I just do this? I have this to record my progress and this to be my overall journal / planner, right? Like this is perfect. This is all I need. Okay, guys? Well, that leaves us with this monstrosity. Like, what do I do with this thing? Now that I bought a beautiful cover for it, I love using it. I love holding it. It's just, I'm obsessed with it. I just don't have like use for it as a planner. So what I decided to do was to incorporate it in my 2024 goals, which was to do more art studies. And so what I've started to do now is to do anatomy studies every day in the daily section. In the monthly section, draw a face every day. I've always wanted to do the 100 faces challenge, And this is, I think, like the best way to accomplish that and keep me accountable. It's so far so good. I might veer off doing the pen thing because some of these faces are really ugly, like the way I draw them. Kitty, you're being silly. She just wants all the attention right now. This paper is so nice to sketch on. It lies flat, so it is just such a nice experience to draw on this, okay? I had to figure out how to incorporate this into my life, whether it's going to be functional planning or for art studies. One thing that I still didn't know what to do, now that we're in the middle of February, I did not know what to do with the damn weekly section. At first I thought, okay, maybe it's just like a week of sketches throughout my day, traveling and stuff, jotting down ideas that I had for future illustrations, and it worked great one week, and the next week, nothing. I didn't have any time to doodle. I don't usually doodle, I'm too busy, so that didn't work. So I thought, what if I incorporate this then into this? And so now it's going to be a daily journaling sort of thing, strictly about my art. So I already did yesterday, and today I wrote 130 words, and I'm gonna journal about that eventually today. And this was today's sketch. I'm doing this every day. I just do a few, and yeah, and that's it. This is my pencil board. I love it too, from One Piece. I'm not a big One Piece fan, but I am a fan of manga, and to see it every day is very inspiring since what I draw is similar to manga. The tracker side, which I really love because it's way more boxes than the Sterling ink planner than this one. So if you go here and see the tracker on this one, it's not a lot. I don't have a lot of things I can track. I am tracking what I'm drawing. I've left this to be more my health stuff, and this cousin is going to be strictly about my creative activities. I'll be tracking how many Patreon posts I make, how many words I've written, and when I draw, when I read. I think that tracking makes more sense. I want to see bird's eye view how I'm actually like navigating my own creative endeavors. So that's all I wanted to go over today. My journey through January was kind of like wild, trying to figure out what I actually liked, what I needed, and I think that's the case with a lot of people in the planner community. January seems to be kind of experimental. It certainly was experimental for me. I thought this was going to be it for me, and then this was added, and then it was this, and now it's just this. Interesting progression there. But yeah, these are the two that I'll be using so far for now. I'm obsessed with both, and it's a joy to open them and write in them. And that's it for a very quick run through of my planner system journey, all in the span of a month. At the end of February, I'll be doing a flip through of my February anatomy studies. If you wanted to see those in detail, I'll be sitting down and doing that. This was just like a quick introduction of what I'm working on right now in terms of just like my planner stuff. I have found a little corner of joy in these books, and I can't wait to share more with you guys. If you watch this just for planner content, welcome. I also do vlogs going over how I draw my comics, how I'm writing comics, and just writing fiction in general. I also make illustrations. So yeah, this is like my channel for creative stuff. If you're not into planners and you still made it this far, thanks for watching. The next video is going to be a vlog. I'm not going to change my channel. I just wanted to add this new thing, okay? The algorithm already doesn't like me, so I make videos because they make me happy and I want to share and inspire others. If you want YouTube to care more, give this video a like. Definitely comment, like, tell me what your favorite color is. Hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!